What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at Data Dash, and today is September 1st of 2021. Well, folks, I hope you all are having a great start to your month wherever you are, and in today's video, I want to dive into the topic around why I personally believe we are going to see a continued rally in altcoin dominance going into the rest of 2021. I not only want to talk about why I believe altcoins are signaling key strength right now, dive into a variety of the different industries in the altcoin market, but also do a macro analysis on altcoin dominance as to why we've got the telltale signs that a further rally is here to come. And outside of that as well, we've got a sponsor mentioned later on for Altcoins, our sponsor for today's video, where we're actually going to utilize the platform to spot various different opportunities in the market. So stay tuned. You won't want to miss it, guys. All right, so I want to start off by just taking a look at the 7-day trend here, because if we look across the board here for the crypto market by 7-day performance, we can see that a lot of cryptocurrencies are in green territory, and most places here either again in neutral green territory, with a few exceptions down here that are in red territory. And many of them are places like Avalanche that have really had extended rallies, or Audius or Polygon. So we've been seeing, for the most part, generally positive action across layer 1 emerging protocols, DeFi, NFTs, you name it. Any type of platform play within the altcoin space is usually working out pretty good. Now, I want to go ahead and do some broad market analysis. I mean, we've been seeing general strength within Bitcoin here. Even though over the last couple of days we've started to pull back, we're looking at the 3-day chart here to get kind of a compressed viewpoint. We can see here that we've cleared through any major points of resistance. The price could play out here. And now we're just generally in a trend of having these heightened highs and higher lows, right? So we're starting to see higher highs, higher lows, and we're starting to formulate a base for continued move higher. And I understand a lot of people worried here looking at the daily, like, oh my gosh, the momentum's starting to roll over. Yeah, things don't move in a vertical line. I mean, to be honest, guys, if we were to have a recovery where things just went up like this, and we were back up to the all-time highs in September, that'd be way too quick. With this cycle, generally speaking, what we saw back in June of 2019 was an exacerbated rally. We went way ahead of where we should have been, just like we did this time around, due to the amount of derivatives, leverage, and generally just access to credit or being able to borrow in the market, extra crypto. This has caused a lot of distortions in markets. So it's going to take some time for that recovery to happen. And I think we're going to see it here for Bitcoin, sometime here within the late fall, maybe within the winter. I think that that's a reasonable time. The earliest potential time we could possibly get back up here to $65,000. But diving straight into the conversation on altcoins, it's a little bit of a different story. Bitcoin has done a pretty decent job of recovering, but we're really seeing the key performance in the altcoin space. Ethereum's still holding around its midline here, showing that it's probably going to, just like it did back here in 2017, formulate and set the stage here to continue climbing higher towards a much bigger even level. And we're kind of keeping that target range of potentially around $20,000 if we have the expanding cycles, if we really go out into the late part of 2022 to early 2023. Right? But even if we have a more conservative estimate of 10,000 or 15,000, we've clearly set the stage for higher highs here in the sense of the dollar pair. But it's important to see in the sense of what we're actually talking about, which is the altcoin strength against Bitcoin and garnering more dominance. We can see that over the past couple of weeks, we've not only held the vast majority of the gains for this rally, we never faltered here. We actually had generally less significant of a correction here, as we can see in the logarithmic chart, than what we had back here many times. But we also built solidified support and have continued to climb higher here. Right? Since the lows, we've made a really nice rebound back here, and look like we're revisiting back relatively close to the previous relative highs of this cycle, which is again signaling further that you have the cup and price action, it scoops back up, and we start to pick up the momentum. Now this is the logarithmic chart, of course, right? So again, you can see here, we've still got a ways to go comparative to where we were back here in June of 2017 or here in February of 2018. But let's go ahead and take a look at the DeFi space, right? The largest DeFi play out there in the market, Uniswap or Unitoken, which again, we've been incredibly bullish on over the past year or so. It's incredible to think since the token launched in this case. It's pretty much been almost a year here since Uni launched, and we really started to build our positions back here against Bitcoin around the $3 to $4 range at the time. Now Uni in this case is trending around $30 and has continued to hold out really, really well. We can see here as well that previous resistance is being turned into new support. This is exactly what we want to see. And not to mention, we're not only riding on this as support, but we're getting a really solid breakout, the biggest volume breakout on the Uni BTC pair since the correction back here in May. All right, since back during this period where we got a big big set of buyers coming in on the dip on plays like Uni. And I think, again, once we clear through this resistance range, we're going to start to see further moves higher, right? But this isn't really a critical level of resistance and stuff, so I think we've got a good chance to break through with the higher low, turning that resistance into support, right? And you're seeing these signs all across the board. If you're looking at, Aave, Compound, if you're looking at any of the kind of mid-sized DeFi protocols, you're generally seeing trends of higher lows and higher highs, or some form of bullish patterns building up with further confirmation of higher price action to come. What about other layer 1 protocols? You got plays like Solana, for example, which we talked about on the channel, even after already making a really stellar rally, over the past couple of weeks earlier in August. We talked about it here around mid-August here, and we were going through a nice pullback, a nice discount opportunity, and boom, another 50% move up, at least at current prices, and it went, I think, in total all the way up here to 75% or more. So again, these are the type of things that we want to be watching here in this case, because there's some great opportunities out there. That being said, it's important to know when to take profits on plays that are too extensive or too overextended, right? And I would say, to be completely candid, as much as I think Solana has really been leading the market in a lot of ways, at the same time, I think this one might be ready for a more substantial correction or pullback. So I'm not FOMOing into it, and you can see the candle here is signaling this, right? When we see these kind of daily candles, where a lot of the daily price action is weighing down. But again, not trying to get anyone to FOMO here in this case, guys. I'm just saying, again, we want to be exposing ourselves to the altcoin space. There's too many good opportunities. And it's signaling very clearly that we're not, per se, in a bear market. Let's go ahead and take a look at Axie, right? We've got Axie Infinity here, hanging around $1,500, excuse me, 1,500, I apologize, 150,000 sats here for Axie Infinity, right? A massive rally here, right, on Binance. And we can see, however, that even though we have started to see a really nice rally here, again, much like how we've seen in some of the layer 1 protocols that have been very, very heightened up, we can see that the momentum is starting to slow down a little bit, right? We can see that consistently we've been attempting possibly to make this previous resistance new support, but if we have a breakdown below here, maybe down to like 1,200 sats, I think this would continue further on a correction. It might be a signal that Axie is a little bit overextended here, even though it is by far the largest game or kind of play to earn NFT project in the crypto space. It's one of the few substantial ones I'd feel comfortable investing in, but again, I need to find that discount opportunity before I really kind of FOMO in at topping highs that really are just going sideways now. That's not a good sign to see, right? All right. But even though there are some plays here that we are going to be waiting for a discount, and even though we are focused more in this case on the space that, again, still has a lot more room to grow, in my opinion, which is DeFi or some of the safer layer ones that haven't been exploding as of recent, I want to go ahead and talk about altcoin dominance, because the thing about it is that it is one of the greatest ratios, indexes, measurements of the market you can find right now to get an understanding of where the risk mentality is for crypto. There is a lot of excitement boiling up for things like NFTs, for DeFi, for other layer 1 protocols. We can't deny that this is happening right now, guys. And the chart beautifully guides us towards a roadmap of higher lows and higher highs and a further uptrend for altcoin dominance to reach even higher than where we set back here in May. So how so, right? Well, first off, here in the short-term time frame, we went from, again, as you guys know, the trend reversal pattern of lower highs, right? We've got the first high here, we've got a lower high here, right? Lower low, and then we officially got it over here. Now, usually, as we are going through this pattern of setting lower highs and lower lows, we'll usually make a reversal in my position. But we stuck to our guns for a reason. And the reason why is we took a step back and we looked at the long-term time frame, right? We didn't falter on our altcoin positions here. And the reason we didn't do that, I'll go ahead and take a step back here, is because we were seeing the previous resistance in price, or in this case, the analysis of market dominance, percentage dominance. Previous resistance points beautifully lined up for a perfect support range for altcoin dominance, from 60 down here to 50, right? We got a nice pullback, a little less than 20% in this case for altcoins share in the market, and that gave us the perfect mid-cycle correction of altcoin dominance for us to continue climbing higher back up to 60% here within the next coming weeks, and eventually to new all-time highs. That is my belief. I think that we've got the foundation here, a year and a half worth, actually, no, sorry, really in this case, 2 years of previous resistance points turned into new support. And with each cycle, guys, right, the theory here is that, as you create more altcoins and as layer one protocols like Ethereum and Cardano and Solana, and you name it, right, Binance Smart Chain, whatever it is, as you have programmable smart contracts, you can do so much more. You can create so much more value. And there will be projects who launch tokens on top of these protocols, utility tokens, STOs, you name it, right? So if we take a look at the logarithmic chart here, we can see that generally speaking, altcoin dominance either holds out, right, holds neutral for the most part, or it makes general upward moves. And that's the thing we should go off of here in this case. I would say safely, guys, we can make a bet in this case that altcoin dominance will always continue to set in generally new highs in each cycle. And look, I love Bitcoin as much as the next guy. It's not to falter or say that, oh, Bitcoin is dead, it's over, it's not going to continue being number one. It doesn't mean that, guys. What it means is that the space is getting a bit more crowded. There is more options. And even though I will be the first one to say that a lot of it is noise, a lot of it is temporary, and we will have a stark correction in altcoin dominance, as we always do, you can almost guarantee that people will always, in this case, create new projects, people will invest in new projects, and it will start to depreciate dominance of Bitcoin, for better or for worse. So when we see that the broader altcoin space is in an uptrend, when capital allocation is going to altcoins, we don't want to fight the trend. I'm here purely, guys, at the end of the day, not to get you to FOMO into anything. We even talked about some plays in the NFT space and some of the layer one competitors who I feel might be a little bit overinflated. He might want to wait for a correction on in this case. But the trend is strong. We can't deny that altcoins are in the lead right now. Now, in the sense of actually spotting some opportunities in the altcoin space, I want to spend some time to talk a little bit about our sponsor for today, which is Altcoins. Now, you guys are probably familiar with me talking about Altcoins here on the channel. We've covered them many times. They're a long-term partner in the channel. But Altcoins is a really interesting platform because unlike TradingView in this case where you might do your general kind of technical analysis, Altcoins really excels at covering a whole suite of features that you would traditionally find in traditional finance, maybe in equity markets, for example. And one of those features that I want to talk about today, it's a mixture of two, is the screener tool, which is going to allow you to screen the market and find opportunities that meet your fit criteria and filters. But outside of that, use the signal summary tool to actually simplify that process and possibly have a variety of different themes or templates we can follow when we're looking for specific plays in the market. So let's go ahead and take a look at the screener here. Now I'm logged into my Altcoins account, and you can see here that when I click on the screener, it's going to go ahead and showcase here a variety of different filters up here. Now what's so great is that as you're going through this, you can set as many parameters as you want. Now, this is a filter that I've set. The MACD line is above the MACD signal line. The RSI 9 is above 50. The market cap is above $250 million. This helps me personally in this case to filter out a variety of really niche small cap plays that just wouldn't make sense to trade or are too risky for me, right? The market cap is serving as that threshold, but then I've also got my technical indicators to spot momentum plays that are leading within the market that I might want to consider building position in, right? And it doesn't have to be so much per se fundamental exposure, right? Or like a fundamental investment. It could be more in this case that I like the momentum. I think the trade looks good. And what's really cool is you can see when these certain signals that I'm utilizing, like the MACD, are signaling a buy or sell, right? So again, I really love, again, they incorporate the MACD very closely within the analysis here on the platform. There's a ton of different indicators you can utilize. You can add other different filters as you go through, right, by adding the signals and filters. But we can see here, for example, like Flow or Dapper Labs, which has the NBA Top Shot project, big NFT project. We can go ahead and expand the view of that, get a full scale chart here, which gives us a really nice range. We can step back, get longer term time frames. We can see that it's been recovering quite nicely here since back in June. Now, the thing about this is that it already gives us a great range of charts, and we can dive into individual charts for these cryptocurrencies. But I want to go ahead and actually spend a little bit of time to streamline this because some people might not know, as you guys are going through trading and stuff, what's the best way to filter out plays. And maybe you want a little bit of guidance in this case about like some different types of setups that are either bullish or bearish if you're looking to long or short the market. Well, One of those ways is utilizing the signal summary tool. The signal summary tool is something that takes the screener and really like puts it on steroids in this case. It basically makes it where you can streamline the process of finding great plays or potential plays in this case that have good momentum towards what you're looking for within different categories. So let's go ahead and take a look at some examples here. Now, pre-built into the platform, they've got a few different headline categories: strategy blocks, trading patterns, trend and momentum, leading indicators, divergent signals. There's all types of different categories we can go off of here. What's really cool though, if you'll notice right away, is that they already pick up the user filter summary, right? So they already can pick up here in this case that I've created a filter where I want to filter by market cap. I want to be able to see, for example, only plays that are over a certain market cap filter. Maybe I have some other additional criteria that I want to add to it. But there's some really great built-in ones here. So if you're interested in purely like momentum and wanting to see plays that are in an uptrend, and then vice versa, next to it, there's the plays that are in a downtrend, we can see all the different plays, the number of plays within different time frames, right? So something might be in an uptrend in a 4-hour time frame, but it may not be in an uptrend in the sense of a 1-day time frame. And depending on your time preferences for trading, that's where again you get to have the option of choosing which kind of plays you're interested in. Like what's your sweet spot in this case when you're making returns on the market? Now, I personally advise in this case, or I wouldn't advise, but for me personally, I like the daily time frame. I'm much more passive about trading in this case. I try to find discount opportunities with momentum. So maybe, for example, I want to look at the 1 day in this case, momentum and up. In this case, I'm not looking for a downtrend. I'm looking for plays that are trending well. They're leading in this market. And what's really cool is you can see right here the list of these assets with all their major details. From market cap, we can see very familiar players that have led the market like Hex, Solana, Atom from Cosmos. There's a lot of different plays here that are in a strong uptrend, which we can see here on the right-hand side from a score of 1 to 10. Right? Now we can also dive in here by just simply clicking on the charts label here. We can already just get a print of what these charts look like. And it's really, really nice here. Now it's going to order them by different filters. We can order it by market cap, and I would say that that's actually usually a good one here. But you can also as well switch that around. You can use all types of different indicators or different types of factors here, even things that might not be specifically within the filter, right? So again, it's a really, really cool system here, I have to say, like in the sense of being able to spot these momentums. Right? And you can see as well, like for these, you can see the RSI has been consistent and the MACD has remained very strong. And these are, again, those plays that are flagging a 10 out of 10, right? So you can find all types of different really interesting plays simply by using these pre-built signal summaries that Altcoins offers within the platform. So if you guys are interested in this, please feel free to check it out down below in the description. I'll have a link for you guys to sign up if you guys are interested. But above all, again, I'm much more focused on these kind of finding these momentum plays and letting them ride. I really don't think day trading in this case is going to be the winning strategy here, which is why I like using these longer time frames per se. But everyone is different, right? So as we go through and we watch altcoin dominance continuing to pick up here, and we are expecting that this is probably going to go up towards a higher range here, I would say that as we're expecting it going towards anywhere from 68 to 70% setting new all-time highs in, we've got a lot of opportunity to come down the line, guys. But I know I covered a wide range of altcoins in today's video, and I'd love to hear from you guys down below in the comments if you have any altcoins that you guys think I should watch. And please put a fundamental description as to why you guys like that project. At least give like 3 bullet points, and maybe put up like the hand raised emoji or something like that to grab my attention, so I know that you guys listened through. So anyways guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys are having a fantastic one wherever you are. And if you like the video, consider dropping a like and subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.